And we're on. This is the Great Classic Movie Debate. I'm Kenny.
And I'm Paul.
And Steve is going to take a break for tonight. I think he's going out to dinner and trying to stay warm. But we talk anything and everything when it comes to movies, classic movies, new movies, westerns, comedies, dramas. It doesn't matter. We try to have fun, but we also try to keep it interesting and hopefully fun to watch also. So, if you're watching right now, please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our sister channel, The Great Classic Rock Debate. Tonight's topic is what? Movies in which the actor went full retard?
Or just that whole retard world, right? Like, because now in today's world, like, it's funny because you have to be in the culture wars. You have to be gay to play a gay character. You have to be black to play a black character, and it's ridiculous. I mean, Helen Mirren, one of the most awesomest actresses, beautiful woman. It's like, that's stupid. Like, I'll play whatever character I feel like playing, and it doesn't matter. And
isn't that why they call it an actor? Right. Yeah. So
it's ridiculous. I mean,
correctness has just gone off the cliff. It's just it's unbearable.
And I think in all these movies where people played autistic is, I guess, the more accepted word now.
Right.
I don't think any of those movies people are making fun of them at all.
No,
they're actually. It's like the Washington Redskins. That name was made as a tribute to Native Americans, just like Rain Man that's a real guy in real life, and this guy's Dustin Hoffman's portraying him and doing him justice, and he makes him a very interesting character.
Right. Okay, so hold on that thought. So before we move too far forward, let's first lay the foundation of why we're calling tonight's topic movies in which the actor went full retard. Because we have to remember there are lots of people who didn't see Tropic
Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, yes. Okay, so which was 2008.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
about right. Yeah. So it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm not exaggerating. Top 5. Yeah, it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen, and lots of unexpected surprises are going to happen in there. And Robert Downey, think about this. This is on the heels of Iron Man. Iron Man had come out probably less than a year before that. So for him to go from that to this, that is the most incredible switcheroo in history. So Robert Downey plays a soldier, and he is a black soldier.
But in the movie, he's actually from Australia.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And so he gets this pigmentation surgery to look darker.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So kind of like blackface, but on his whole body. That's just his face, right?
So he's a white guy who is playing a black soldier by wearing fake hair and.
No, he's had a real surgery. He's had surgery where his skin is darkened.
Okay. Well, I knew his skin was darkened, but I didn't know that was through surgery. Okay. So, but whatever. The point is, and he stays in character even when they're not filming. He's still a white guy talking like a black guy. It is so funny. Oh my God. If you haven't seen this movie, highly recommended. I should also add, there's a lot of salty language. So if that sort of thing, if that sort of thing offends you, keep it distance.
Before you see that movie, and this is one of the things you learn, like when I have my master's degree from UCLA in screenwriting and film producing, and one of the you take this called critical studies, and it's supposed to be an objective way to look at films, and this movie is what's called a textual device. In order to get this movie 100%, you have to have seen 10 or 12 movies, that it's referencing. Okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
Because when this whole scene about the full retard comes up, he talks about Rain Man, Forrest Gump. If you haven't seen the movie, you're like, what is he talking about? Right?
Fair enough.
And where it gets much deeper is Robert Downey Jr.'s character. He's playing a character from Apocalypse Now, the guy who's the saucier. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
Osiris goes, love my sauces, man. I wish I could be in San Antonio. and the what is G is there's a real black guy on there, and he goes, oh, that's the way we talk, like Duke and George, ha. And he's making fun of this guy trying to be black, and it's just genius.
Right.
And then
if I didn't make this part clear, and I don't think I did, so let me try it one more time, and hopefully this clarifies. Robert Downey and Ben Stiller and the other guys, they're all actors who are playing actors who are filming a movie about
Vietnam.
Either Vietnam or
it's Vietnam,
a war-torn country in Southeast Asia.
Right.
But they are playing actors, and the actors are making this movie in Tropic Thunder. And so there is a conversation that takes place not during filming, during downtime, where Robert Downey, who's playing an actor, is talking to Ben Stiller, who's playing an actor.
Yeah, but you got to stop right there. You got to rewind. See, when Robert Ben Stiller's character in the movie, he's like a Rambo kind of guy. Does action movies,
right?
So,
right.
And they're making fun of Stallone. Okay, remember Stallone did the movie with Del Gaddy, and he did this movie with somebody, and then he did this movie. Now Stallone never did this kind of movie, but it was called. And this is where I just like scream and laugh, and I can't control myself. Simple Jack.
Right.
And he plays this complete idiot who's like autistic, and he's so over the top,
right?
And it's just, and of course they must have been in the. Can you imagine being in the writing room writing his lines?
Right.
Like when his mom dies, Simple Jack goes, "I'm sorry, Mama. I can only see you now in my head movies." His dreams. Right. He's talking about head movies.
Right.
So now he got torched by everybody for playing this idiot.
Right.
And now you can go ahead. So that's
okay. So Robert Downey is telling him as his friend, he's not trying to criticize him or attack him. He's just telling him, says, you played this part in Simple Jack. It was, the movie was a bomb, and the critics just had a field day with it, but you made a mistake. You went full retard. You never go full retard. So in other words, if you're going to play this autistic or whatever character, you've got to reel it in. You can't just go 100% full retard.
Right.
No one is ever going to accept that. So he's giving him a speech, and he keeps saying, you can't go full retard, never go full retard. And it's just so funny when you see the movie, which is why tonight's episode is movies in which the actor went full retard. Yeah. Hopefully I made sense of that. I hope.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to start with? Rain Man, or you tell me.
Well, Rain Man, he's not. And this is part of what Robert Downey's character says to him. He goes, "Look, Rain Man, look retarded, but doesn't act retarded. He wins. He wins money at the casino. He does all these things. He's not retarded. Like he gets weird." And then and then Forrest Gump. He's talking about same thing, right? He's kind of autistic, and he's able to succeed in life and fall in love. And so the other person who he references who did go full retarded is Sean Penn. I Am Sam. Did you ever see this movie?
Okay, I never saw it.
Oh my God,
terrible!
It was like excruciatingly bad.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
and you're like, and this is I don't know at the when did Robert Downey and Ben Stiller figured this out? Like, you got to make the character kind of cool in a weird way.
Right.
And so, and then so they Simple Jack was making fun of the movie I Am Sam, right? Where he's
right. So in which Sean Penn went full retard.
So he went empty-handed like Ben Stiller did Simple Jack.
Right.
And the movie, it's a brilliant script because they keep these running jokes going through the movie. Like the soldiers get lost in the jungle, and Ben Stiller is an idiot in the movie, and he can't read a simple map. So Robert Downey Jr. starts distracting. Goes, "Oh, you look cut up like not Rocky 1, but Rocky 2. You look more cut up." And so Ben Stiller is like, he's being flattered. He drops his guard, and Robert Downey says, "Give me that goddamn map." He steals it from him, and he goes, "We're lost in the jungle with Captain Simple Jack." So he's referencing another movie to this guy in the movie
Right.
they're in.
Right.
And you could tell it really hurts Ben Stiller when they
Right.
do all this, because he's
Right.
really hurt. Like, and it's kind of like we were saying today about the Billy Squire thing,
Yeah.
where he did this thing. You should have had a friend and say, whoa,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I can say, just for the record, I can say, Paul, if you had made that video, I would have stopped you.
Yeah. Yes.
I said, my friend, no. The answer is
No.
I'm over my dead body.
Yeah, you're gonna set the place on fire, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like when I saw Rain Man, I saw it twice at the Village Green Theaters at the same day at the same theater.
Okay.
I saw it at 11 a.m. It had the older, some Finsbury Village crowd, older folks. People are more a little stuffier.
Understood.
And so when he's making all these jokes, yeah, definitely fart. Yeah, farted. And I start giggling and laughing. And I was there with like, I don't even know who I was there with. And people in the theater were looking at me.
Right.
Like I'm an idiot, right? I'm laughing at him because he's autistic, but he's making, I mean, they're making the joke. I mean, they're doing that on fun, yeah, Charlie Babbitt made a joke, definitely maple syrup on the table, right? They're making these jokes on purpose. They know you're going to laugh.
Right.
So
it's funny.
10 hours later, I see like the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock show, and it's all younger people about my age at the time.
Okay.
And everyone's howling in the whole theater, just laughing their butts off, when he's making these, Kmart socks. Yeah. These definitely aren't my underwear. That kind of thing. And it's like, but the reason people laugh, and if it had been like full retard, people would have been like, I'm not supposed to laugh. This guy is in.
Right.
And he's trying to be funny. And he's there next to Tom Cruise. Right. And he's his brother. So it's a really cool way they did it. Like,
yeah.
And
that's a really good movie. That's all I was going to say is Rain Man. I mean, that is a fantastic movie. And I don't want to go off on a tangent, but man.
No, go ahead. I mean,
all I was going to say is, I don't know if you ever met my older brother or not. He was not anything to the degree of Rain Man, but he did have some learning disabilities. And so he struggled a little bit in school. But he had these moments where his recall and his ability to, and you would go, holy crap, how can he be like a little slow in one way? He's like a genius in the next. But when I watched Rain Man, I sat there and said, man, there's so much in this character especially the thing with wearing the underwear and the socks. That's how my brother, he was always dressed like that in the house, wearing a t-shirt, underwear, and socks. He was always like that. And the character reminded me of my brother in so many ways. Again, not a duplicate or anything, but there was a lot of similarities.
You told me. That's why I was explaining this to my daughter. That's the term for people like that is called idiot savant.
Yeah.
The power of his brain is limitless, but he has no idea of the ramifications of what he knows.
Right.
He doesn't understand, if I bet these numbers, I can win at cards in 21 and make $1 million.
Right.
He has no idea. He says, there's 4 aces, 3 queens, and 2 4s left. You're like,
right.
Oh my God, how in the hell? But and maybe that's a part of the right and left part of our brains that maybe merge that we, and autism is so misunderstood. I mean, like they still don't. It's really the human brain is like for the next 1,000 years are going to be discovering it. And the funny thing, there's that one of the Predator movies. I call it The Predator. Did you see it?
I'm pretty sure I did.
It's got like Keegan and Michael Key in it, and
Olivia Munn. I didn't see it. I heard it was terrible.
It's what you expect.
Okay,
but
I mean the Predator movies for me have been very hit and miss.
Yeah,
and the first one was a classic. Yeah,
Prey is great with the Native American girl.
Dude, excellent. Yeah, excellent.
So the plot of this Predator movie called The Predator is he's back on Earth. Anyway, there's this war between these two types of predators, and this predator, the more powerful, smarter one, comes back, and the main character's son is autistic, but he gets the predator's helmet, puts it on, and he could figure out their shit. Like he's making ships fly and shields go down and turning on weapons, and the other predator realizes that's a human doing that, So I'm going to take him back to my home world, and I'm going to genetically take his body and improve it. Because in the movie they say that some people think autism is a next step of human evolution.
Right, right.
That's the premise of this movie.
Okay.
And it's doing that, and it's being entertaining, and it's funny. It's what you would expect, right? You're not.
Okay.
It's not Dances with Wolves or anything like that.
Okay.
But it's entertaining.
All right.
So what was the movie? Now I'm trying to remember now, because one of my ex-girlfriends and I saw I Am Sam. Is he dating the girl? Oh God, she's always plays a crazy person. Juliette Lewis in that movie.
Or I Am Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw it.
I know.
I heard it was god awful. I'm
trying to remember if that's the movie where Juliette Lewis is also autistic, but I can't remember anymore.
Could be.
And you know what's funny? But some movies, I don't know if I wasn't drunk when I saw it, but either it was so bad or I just vented it out of my mind somehow. You know, you ever had that happen? You see a movie and you're like, I saw this movie and I have zero recollection except for one scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Having a lot of times.
Yeah, it's like I saw this movie.
At some point in the movie, 25% in or 30 or whatever, I'm going, okay, I'm really not liking this movie. And I'll still stay there and watch it. But by the time I've left, so many of the things I saw, I don't even remember anymore because my brain was just shutting it out, So.
Well, yeah. And the thing about the Simple Jack, which is just like, they didn't just make that a scene, right? That character, Simple Jack, is the basis of the second half of the movie. Okay? Because when Ben Stiller gets kidnapped, the people start torturing him, they're hitting him. And they're really hitting him really hard. And he starts stuttering because they're hitting him so hard. And then the people who's hitting him realizes that's the actor who's playing Simple Jack. They finally, you Simple Jack, you Simple Jack. Right?
And by the way, the actor's name is Tug Speedman.
Yeah, Tug or not.
Ben Stiller plays Tug Speedman, who played
great.
Simple Jack. Right.
And oh my God. And so what they do is to entertain their people, these really poor people, they make him do a play version of the movie Simple Jack. And he goes, they're like, okay, Paul, he goes, more stupid. They're hitting him really hard, like really for real. And he's like, oh, stop. He goes, and then the funny, like this is why movies are so great with a visual medium. You could say jokes on. So he goes, hold on. And the Chinese guy brings this old man over and makes him pull out his false teeth. And he goes, okay, put these on. He's like, no, that's gross. And he's hitting him. He finally puts it on. Oh, God. And he's making him wear this old other man's false teeth. God. And you're like, it's so brilliant and how they work the whole thing in,
Right.
Oh, my God. And then remember, he starts doing the Simple Jack and he's starting to ease up on the character. Like Robert Downey's critiquing him from a distance. He's like, oh, he's actually calming down. He's not going so over the top. And he's actually... connecting, and it was a good moment to watch him actually really act,
right.
Versus, and I don't know what happens on the now. Like Daniel Day-Lewis, right? Method actor, great, one of the greatest actors of all time. Like he played. Did you see My Left Foot?
Oh, dude, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And in between
I had never heard of Daniel Day-Lewis when I saw that movie, and I'm just like, wow, this guy's unreal.
Yeah, like when they did outtakes, so they would cut, he would stay in character.
I believe it, yeah.
They had to pick him up and move him because he wouldn't move. He's staying as that guy.
Right.
Oh, I gotta make my daughters watch that movie because I told them do you remember the very first scene in the movie? They're playing soccer.
Oh, I do.
He's the goalie, and he traps a ball, and this guy's kicking him in the head trying to get the ball, and they're like, foul, foul, foul. And then they pick him up and take him to the other end and kick the penalty kick. And he's got one left foot and it's awesome. He kicks the winning penalty
and makes it. Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, it's awesome.
Yeah. I remember that. Oh. I was on a first date, and the girl, we had said, hey, we'll catch a movie. We didn't talk any specifics. So I pick her up really pretty. And I said, so is there anything you want to see? And she says, My Left Foot. And I go, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. And she says, there's a movie called My Left Foot. And I go, the movie is called My Left Foot. And she goes, yeah, you haven't heard of it? And I go, no, I've never heard of it. I go, oh my God. And she wants to see this. I'm like, this is not going to go well. So we go see the movie. I was blown away. I couldn't believe how good.
Oh my God. Yeah,
it's really, really good.
He man, I tell you what, that guy, I don't know how we're morphing into him. I don't think he's ever played any autistic characters, but I wouldn't put it past him. Like he would kill it, in my opinion. But
right.
Remember him in go ahead. You're gonna say something.
Okay, all I was gonna say is I never saw this movie, but everything I heard about it, I think it's topic worthy. Cuba Gooding in Radio. Did you ever see this movie Radio?
Oh my God, is he also play? Yeah, I think he does, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he went full retard.
Yeah, God, I haven't seen it. And that's another reason, like, why you got to make that character compelling, you know?
Right.
And
right.
Rain Man, Forrest Gump. It's just very fascinating. It's, you know, again, it's like they're not making fun of them. They're showing that people can survive and thrive. A little bit of help here, a little bit of help there, right? They can survive and thrive, right? It's just it's amazing. Like me and my wife watched this show called On the Spectrum, and it's in Australia, and it's about all these people who are on the spectrum of autism, and they show them and they go on dates, and it's fascinating to watch how people connect or don't connect, and all the idiosyncrasies all these people have. Like this one guy, he should have a PhD in paleontology because all he knows is dinosaurs. Like if there's 500 dinosaurs, he'll tell you each one end of it. He has them all memorized, and he's like, "Oh, the other one's going to fate and get invaded, right? And it's got the hook here, right?" And you're like, "Wow, that guy really." I mean, but he goes on a date with a woman, and I'm a man, and I don't give more than about a minute and a half of dinosaurs. I'm ready to kill somebody.
Right.
But the show's fascinating, and again, this show is like these movies. They prop these people up, show them how unique they are. They still need help because they can't be left alone,
Right. And I think, I never saw I Am Sam, but I think the premise of that one was, okay, he's full retard, but he wants to be able to live by himself and do his own thing, and he doesn't need help or whatever.
Yeah,
and
golly, I must have been drunk that night I saw it.
The commentary that I heard on that is the message it's sending is the exact opposite of reality. And he needs help. He needs assistance. No one should be telling him, you're just like the rest of us and you can do you're fine on your own. And he's not. So,
I mean, think about this. Until we're like, I don't know, until you're like 7 or 8, where you could clothe yourself and feed yourself. If the food was there, you could make food. It would be crappy. You could make it. You could live.
Right.
And then when you get to be 75, it's the exact same thing again. So you die, right? Like at some point you're going to need to be fed, and so there's this range where we're even a supposedly normal person can survive, right? And an autistic person is just like anybody else for a lot of their life. You can't. Anyway, so and then this also brings the weirdest tangent I've ever done. Takes us to that movie Gattaca.
Okay.
You see this movie?
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
Do you remember the plot of it?
Barely. I remember I liked it. It was good.
Well, Gattaca, the GAT, that's the genetic code markers. Okay. If you look at them, the markers, and that's why I think they made a word out of it, Gattaca, right? So the movie is in the future, they start screening out people who don't have perfect DNA.
Okay, right.
And then in the movie, Ethan Hawke and his brother, forgot who it is. Like Ethan Hawke is not perfect. I can't remember anymore. And the other brother is.
Okay.
But because the guy who's perfect thinks he's perfect, he doesn't strive as hard as Ethan Hawke does.
Okay.
So if you remember at the end of the movie, they're swimming and the brother is perfect, drowns. And Ethan Hawke mates. And then at the end of the movie, remember, Ethan Hawke goes into that rocket. They're supposed to send this smartest guy into this space station. And the guy who runs the whole NASA launch pad, he's a normal guy. And he hates the fact these perfect Gattaca people are going up. So when Ethan Hawke sits on the rocket, it says not Gattaca, is whatever this is. He is not one of the guy goes, okay, we're ready to launch. 5, 4. He launches them up anyway. You don't care. It's really cool. So the person who's not genetically engineered gets wins. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, all I was going to say is I think that was probably in the late 80s or early 90s when I saw that.
Uma Thurman, Ethan Hawke, and
and I remember I rented it. I didn't see it in a movie theater. I rented it and watched it. And after seeing it, and it was really good. And I remember thinking to myself, this is one of those where they ruined it with this name, because the name Gattaca, it doesn't tell you anything about the movie, and it certainly isn't attractive. No one hears that name Gattaca and says, man, I want to see that. So, but the movie itself is very good, and I highly
that's a very good point. Very, very good point. But that brings up the thing of, I don't know how we got all this. If you know your kid's going to be autistic or have Downs, you go forward.
Man, that's a tough question, I have to say. Yeah.
When you're first pregnant, they do these, forgot what they're called. They do tests on you right away to know, is there a 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 1,000 chance that your kid may have Downs? You want to keep going. Basically, you want to murder your kid because there's a 1 in 1,000 chance. Like, no, I want to have my kid. Like, So I guess these movies that portray these autistic people in a positive light and contribute, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Uh-oh, you just froze. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you're froze and I'm getting no audio. If you have to reset or do something, you might have to, because right now you're not coming through at all. Paul, if you can hear me, send me a text message or something, because I'm getting nothing. Oh, okay. Well, you're back. I was in the middle of sending a text telling you that your screen froze.
Oh, I heard you. I could hear everything you were saying. It was
okay.
No, so anyway, this girl I dated, she had a kid that was Down syndrome, and it was like that didn't affect me one way or the other if I would have dated or not. But she was sure, like she said, a lot of guys would walk and see that child, and they would run out.
Right.
And you're like, because you always have the benefit of knowing you're normal, but what if you weren't normal? Would you want somebody to see you and run out? Or if you were autistic, someone to abort you? Setting, our religious beliefs come into play here, and the morality of murdering, I'm gonna go down that road right now. But this Hollywood's making these things look to be like, okay, my kid can be productive, I can survive, we can. If aliens come, one of these autistic kids might be able to outsmart them, like in the movie The Predator. The kid is like causing trouble for the alien, for the Predator, because he's like messing the ship up, and he's like, "Who the hell's doing this?" Then he realizes this is some kid who's doing it, a human kid. It's really funny, actually.
Huh.
And the
funny.
Kid,
I never heard much. I never heard much about that movie, and what I did hear wasn't good. But
I give it a 6.
Okay,
it's worth watching once, and I watch it about once every couple of months because it's the funny stuff in there. The kid's funny because he gets the Predator mask. He wears it for Halloween. He tapes it to his head. He goes out there, and these kids mess with him. He goes, "Oh yeah," it blows up this house. "Oh, you want to mess with me? Okay." And the Predator, he fires right at him and tries to blow him up. Now, in the movie, he drops that thing. Shit, I'd be like, "Oh man, this is fun times." If I had that Predator helmet, I'd be going around. Get a little payback, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so I'm trying to think of other movies that have that plot. Like,
well, I Googled it just to see what the other opinions out there were, and they said the Cuba Gooding thing, and then they said Sean Penn, which we already have mentioned. And one guy wrote Nicolas Cage in any Nicolas Cage movie, which is funny, even though I don't agree with it. It's still funny. I got to give him credit. Especially like over the last 10 years. My understanding is he had some tax problems, and he started taking roles that otherwise he may not have taken, whatever. So a lot of them have not been good movies. But I'm not going to say anything bad about him because I still like him. But
no, I think he's great. I mean,
yeah,
if you ever seen him interviewed, or that, remember on Saturday Night Live, there's a guy sitting next to him acting like he's him, and he's standing right next to him while he's doing it. Hi, I'm Nicolas Cage, and I'm in every movie ever made. And Nicolas Cage is sitting here listening to him. He goes, well, I'm not in every movie. And it's really funny. And only someone who doesn't take themselves that seriously could withstand. I mean, can you imagine a lot of actors, they start crying and stuff.
Right. How long ago was that on Saturday Night Live?
Maybe 15 years. You can look it up. It's really.
Oh, okay.
And he's one of his people. He's like Christopher Walken. And we had a fraternity brother, Scott McCarthy, the same ability. He could say anything with a straight face.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you just
that was almost supernatural the way he could do it, man.
Like when I did some acting, as you know, and I had to prepare myself. Like if I was going to say something funny, I have to say, okay, no matter what. And like when Kenny and I were in his fraternity, and to get in to eat, you had to come in front of the whole brothers and tell a joke.
Right.
Had to be a clean joke, couldn't be profanity.
Right.
So you would go in there, and if you laughed, they would kick you out. You just go, oh.
You had to tell the joke. They had to agree that it was funny. Yeah. You know, not have hilarious, but at least funny enough to let you eat. And you couldn't smile. If you even smiled, you got kicked out.
And the worst part was, let's say you got through the first gauntlet of getting into the joke, you had to sit there and watch the next 25 guys crash and burn,
and you can't smile.
And then there's this fraternity brother who taught me the most ridiculous laugh ever. And if you said Blosey,
of course,
and if you would crack, he would get right in your face and go like 1,000 times louder than that. And you would it's everything. So what I learned to do is I would just suck in my cheeks like this, and it clamped down till I had Drew blood.
Right.
I could taste my own blood in my mouth. That's how much pain it caused.
Right.
Needed to not laugh.
Right.
And after about 3 or 4 times that I was able to, and I was trying to look away, and I would try to ignore whatever I heard. And I was like, I'd try not to listen. And, and there was this scenario, the brothers all together en masse enact, you know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
And they try to get you to laugh again.
It's hard not to.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
And anyway, so.
Okay, well, listen. We got our warning, so we'll go ahead and wrap things up. I can't think of too many other movies. I'm sure there's more, but I just can't think of off the top of my head.
Well, there's autism is such a unique thing. Like I don't know if you remember Annie Hall. Christopher Walken plays this kind of a nut. Like I don't know if he's more crazy, like got a damaged brain. I don't know if you remember that movie.
I don't.
Oh my God, there's a scene where he's telling Woody Allen that his fantasy is of driving a car with a bunch of people in it and crash it and kill everybody. So the next scene, he's driving a car with Woody Allen in it, and Woody Allen's like, his eyes are like this big, and Christopher Walken is like, it's all he can think about is not getting killed. And it's really fun. That movie, Annie Hall, can you believe it beat out Star Wars for the Best Picture? But it's a very funny movie. I think a lot of his stuff is very funny, but not better than Star Wars. Sorry, Mr. Allen. No offense there. But but oh my God. But Christopher Walken is one of my.
Oh,
I just love him.
Yeah, I agree. On a scale of 1 to 10, yeah, he's a 12. Yeah.
I remember this. Go ahead.
I was going to say is let's give out an honorary Oscar. This can be to an actor or to a movie. It doesn't matter, whatever. Let's do that, and we'll call it a night. You want to go? You want me to go?
I'll go first. My honorary Oscar is to Christopher Walken for his performance in True Romance. No. Pulp Fiction as Captain Coons. So remember, Bruce Willis's dad has,
of course,
and
he tells the story of the watch.
Yeah. And he's talking about I'll try to. I used to be pretty good at it. I'll be damned if I let those gooks get birthright. So he puts the watch up his rear end for 5 years, and his dad dies from it, and he puts up his watching it. And then he goes, and now after 5 years of last, I'm giving it to you.
Right.
And then now you realize Bruce Willis will literally kill anyone to get that watch back, because that's his dad's watch in Vietnam.
Right.
And that's exactly what he does. But so that's why, I mean, he should have got it. They should have just stopped it. Like, here's this, or he could have, or the scene in True Romance where he's with
either one.
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. Either one. Those are amazing, memorable scenes.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna, because the theme of tonight's show has been Tropic Thunder and Full Retard and all that. I'm gonna give the honorary Oscar to Tom Cruise. All right, and here's why. When I went to see this movie, I mean, a lot of people had.
I was with you.
Oh, were you? Okay. A lot of people had told me how good it was. And so I went in with good expectations, but Tom Cruise's name had not been associated in any way whatsoever with this movie. So I have zero expectation of seeing Tom Cruise. So as those scenes are playing out where he's short and fat and bald or whatever, I can't, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, I know this guy from somewhere, but I can't quite put my finger on who it is, So imagine when I realize, oh my God, it's Tom Cruise. It's genius. It's just genius. It is, and even though it's such a small part, oh man, he knocks it out of the park.
It's like one of the greatest cameos, like the Christopher, like when I saw the movie in LA, I was at a big theater, and I said about a minute in, I said, "That's Tom Cruise," and they went, "Shut up, that's not Tom Cruise." All of a sudden, people goes, "Oh my God, it's Tom Cruise!"
Oh my God!
And people realized that I nailed it because I did something about his voice. Because remember, when the movie started, you and I saw the very first scene in the movie is the black guy with the booty juice or whatever it's called, booty sweat, and he's got these two girls. You're like, "What the hell is this?" Like, this is the movie. You're like, "No, yes, it is."
Right.
And then they had the thing with the fatties with the Portnoys.
Right.
Could I get you some more? Yeah, more beans, sir. More beans. And then come on, feel the noise. God. I showed it to my daughters. I said, "This is a real movie." I didn't tell them it was just a minute. And they're like, "Daddy, this cannot be a real movie. Look at it. It's a real movie." Anyway, it was fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm asking to anybody who may be watching, do you want to give out one final lifelong piece of advice?
Don't go full retard.
Never go full retard. That's right. Never go full retard. We're going to wrap it up for tonight. This is the Great Classic Movie Debate. I'm Kenny.
And I'm Paul.
Steve's not with us tonight, but if you're watching, please like, comment, and subscribe. We will love you for that. Don't forget to check out our sister channel, The Great Classic Rock Debate. Until we meet again, we'll see you next time.